Okay, so next Megan's going to go over inviting. So we've added friends, we've done our connecting or reconnecting with conversations. So now Megan's going to talk about inviting.
Okay. Sorry if it gets a little loud because my kids just got home, so I apologize. But so after you've formed your friend, that's when you're going to find a way to lead into inviting. Whether, as Stephanie was saying, you find a hole at where they start asking you questions about what you do, or maybe they had a baby and you found that niche of what they need. That's when you go for the invite. You don't want to do it before because then you come off just really salesy. But and I try and really keep it simple. Like if let's say they just had a baby and they need to lose weight and they ask you about it, because then at some point they've probably figured out what you do. And that's when you can start leading them to whatever they want. That's when you're going to start asking them about their goals. Okay, because remember, it always goes back to them, and asking them if they want to join you based off of their goals. I like to invite a few different ways. I like to invite, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but this is the way I do it, is after they've been formed. I form people that I don't know, new friends that I've friend requested or that have friend requested me through other people that I know. And then I also do, so that's the basic way to do it. And then I also do some cold inviting of people that I know. Maybe I haven't broached them about it, but they know what I do. And I'll throw out a, hey, let's say it was a friend of mine from high school that was super active in sports with me. Hey, I run these challenge groups now. I know you used to be really active in sports and a good athlete. Would you be interested in hearing more about what I'm doing, or hear more about it? Something simple, and then you're going to get either a yes or maybe nothing. Usually it's a yeah, because they're kind of interested, because you've just given them a little taste. You haven't spilled everything you know about it. So cold inviting off the form based off what they need, and that's when you go into their goals and what they want and whatever program that would suit them, and start shooting out videos and stuff. And then the other part is like inviting from a post. So maybe you've posted something about a challenge group coming up and they like respond me or more info or something. That's when I like to start just asking questions right away, but I always try and mix personal with business all the time. So I'm always doing like, how are you? What have you been up to? Even if they are asking me just about my group, I always try and get some of that personal stuff involved in there, because I still think you need to keep building that relationship. And then, ask them what interested them in your post. And I think that's a really good way to start off the conversation without being like, oh, thanks for inviting, here's what I'm doing, or thanks for coming, here's what I'm doing, there's all the information, you ready? And I think people get overwhelmed with that. But if you just jump in and say something along the lines of what interested you about my post, or about what you saw, and then you can go off of their goals again and start inviting, asking them. And then if you're doing free groups, that is a great way to invite people to your challenge groups. Amanda Doherty and I just did a crockpot, 5-day crockpot group, and we had like 125 or 130 people in there. And so we have been inviting people from our crockpot group over into our challenge groups. And again, just simple is the best, I think. Hey, what did you like best about thank you for joining our free 5-day crockpot challenge. I hope you had a good time. What was your favorite recipe? Get that conversation started, and then going to, well, I also run these 21-day or 30-day or monthly. I like to use motivational fitness groups. You can use challenge groups, whatever you want to say. Would you like to hear more about what we do in those? With inviting that way. Ways that I like to invite, I mix it up a little bit. I don't always just form. I do some cold inviting, some forming, and then I always am posting. So anybody that likes any of my posts, conversing with them and just thank you, inviting, I think. So that's what I like to do. Any questions?
Megan, you broke up a little bit there at the very end for me. What did you say? When someone likes your post?
When someone likes any of my fitness posts or my challenge group posts or like my results posts, private message you for liking my posts, and then lead into an invite if they would like to know more about what we're doing or any of my groups.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's important once you post something to stay online for a little bit and see who's interacting. Don't just post and run. Because I think people also like to get some immediate response if possible.
Right. And when I first started, I used to wait until I would only message the people that commented. Well, we all know that some of our posts don't get you might get a whole bunch of likes, but you don't get any comments or very few comments. And then I started going off anybody that liked it, especially if it's like any of my, my before and afters or anything. Anybody that liked it, I always message them and say, hey, thanks for liking my post on whatever. I really appreciate it. It helps keep me motivated to reach my goals. And usually they're going to say, hey, no problem. They'll come back with a response from that and then go from there with an invite. If they leave that door open. Sometimes they don't leave that door open and they just say, hey, no problem, and then that's where I leave it. I think you have to feel people out and see if they're ready for that or not. Mm-hmm. And some people don't respond at all, so don't get upset if people don't respond because sometimes they don't. So.
Or you ask someone how they are. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I just noticed last night I asked a girl how she was and she told me. And that was it. And she didn't ask how I was. And I was like, geez. And then I looked through our messages and I thought, she's never asked me how I am. I'm always asking her how she is, and she doesn't give a crap how I am. But
yeah.
What about me? Okay.
Megan, I had a question for you.
Yes.
Do you find that, say, in one power hour that you might invite some people to your free group and then others you might find they're perfect for your challenge group? So in one setting, you're sending out 10 messages and you're thinking, hey, 3 of these might be challenge group, but the others, they'd be better in a free group.
Yeah, and I think when you're inviting it can be for a free group or it can be for your challenge groups, and you have to feel them out for what suits them better. So yeah, and some days you're going to invite a lot more people than others, depending on what you're inviting them to. Okay. Did that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know, like if you have let's say you put a before and after post, because I have found that those get the most traffic for me anyway, that I might have, and I might have a ton of invites in one day, and I always try and get 3 invites, but from one of those, after I write down all the names of everything, and I might have 15 or 20 invites off of that one post, depending on how much traffic it got. So don't think that you have to be limited to only 3 invites per day. That's just kind of the minimum that you want to shoot for every single day. And don't forget to invite to coaching opportunity as well. So, okay, so go ahead and let's go ahead and find 3 people from your list that you want to invite to something, your challenge group, the coaching opportunity, whatever, and go ahead and get those 3 invites done. And if you have any questions, holler.
I have a question. So I do a lot of the transformation posts, or when I post something about, say, a promo like for 21 Day Fix, because that's what worked for me initially. And I post my before and after pictures. And it's not that I don't appreciate the compliments, but I get like 20, oh, that's so awesome. You're doing so great. You look great. Keep up the good work. and you know, maybe get like 20 comments like that are these great compliments, don't get me wrong, I appreciate them, but that's, you know, I put it out there to try to gain more people. Do you then, I mean, would you follow up and just send them a message, hey, thanks so much for the compliment, you know, and then just go into the general conversation from there? Obviously, you don't want to just say, this is what I've been doing, but just go in and say, hey, thanks for the compliment. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, how's everything going with you? Or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then if they keep responding back, you know, about if, and they're asking you more about it or commenting more on that, even maybe just giving you more praise, then I would say, hey, you know, would you like to hear more about what I've been doing? And just keep it really simple and go from there. And then once it's more, most of the time, if they're interacting that much, they're going to say yes. And then you can start going into your, you know, what you're going to say when you start inviting. And I always go for their goals first. That's what I do. So and then go from there. But yeah, message all those people, because you never know.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. I'm like, well, you know, and a lot of them are people that I kind of know what they are not doing just from following their Facebook feeds. And I'm just like, do I message them? Do I not? Like, I appreciate the compliment. Do I take it further and so it's good to know that others do that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's important not to prejudge people too, because there's been times where I thought, oh, I'm not going to invite her because of this or that. You know, someone is a bit older, or they're really young, or they seem fit, and so you don't invite them. And then just yesterday, I had a girl message me, and she said, oh, I just bought the 21-day fix and the 21-day fix extreme, and I'm loving it. And it was one of the girls that I didn't invite because I thought, well, she's tiny, she's fit, she's not into working out, there's no point. But you don't know until you ask. And so she bought it through another coach instead of me, but she knew I was doing it, so she let me know. But I don't think she understands how it works. But that's okay. It's my loss because I didn't extend the invite.
And just remember, the worst they can say is no. And does that really hurt you? It doesn't. So always, that was hard. I think that's hard for most coaches in the beginning, is the feelings you get of, oh, what are they going to think of me? Or what if they say no? Well, if they say no, okay, more than likely they're going to come back to you and say yes. So.
Yeah, and they'll think of you. If they do see the infomercial on TV, they'll think, oh yeah, she invited me to something like that. Maybe I'll reach out to her again. Mm-hmm. At least you put the bug in their ear.
Yeah. And this is a little funny story. Invite while I'm chatting here. But I had a girl that I had invited a while back, and she said she was really interested. And then she said, you know what? One of my coworkers has these patches that she wants me to try. So, you know, that's just so much easier. So I'm going to try that and instead. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not going to fight you on it. I said, all right, well, just let me know how it works and what you think. And so I waited a couple weeks and I messaged her back and I'm like, you know, so how are things going? What have you been up to? I didn't even ask about that at first. And she's like, oh, it's good. But those patches were terrible. They made me feel blah, 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 you know? So, and then she joined my challenge group for this time around. So, you know, you're going to get a whole bunch of that and eventually they'll come around. So
yeah, the key is in the follow-up. It's good that you followed up with her, because maybe she would have been embarrassed to reach back out to you. But because you asked her how she was doing, she thought, oh, she cares about me. Just drop them in.
Yeah. So.
Megan?
Yeah.
Megan, when you're messaging people and you're reaching out to them and stuff, are you sending them like a personal message, like, hey, how are you doing? Or are you going to like their site where they're having posts and then you're having a conversation on that? Your personal messaging?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I personal message everybody. I do have a couple people that have contacted me on my like page through messaging, and they're not big into Facebook. So I have a couple people that are in my challenge group this time around that prefer to communicate via text. So I do text them stuff every day, but which is one thing, and I don't know when that's coming out. And Stephanie, maybe you know, but the new coach tracker, that app that you can get for your challenge groups, Do we know when that's coming out? I know they talked about it at Super Saturday, but I can't remember what they
It's
said.
supposed to already be out. I did the beta testing with Lindsay, my coach, because they invited the 5-star and above coaches to do it. And it's awesome, but I'm like, okay, where is it? I don't know.
Right.
So there's nothing
So-
official yet, because I had someone in my challenge group ask me. She said she signed up for the app and it says get the code from your coach.
Yeah, it's there. I know. I've had people ask me too, and I'm like, sorry, it's not ready yet.
Oh, so they're just stumbling upon it, but it's not
Yeah.
officially launched.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can download it, but you can't get into it.
Oh, so then
Yeah. So I think that'll be good, especially for the people that aren't Facebook.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right. Let's move on to Jen's topic. Yeah, it's a quarter till. So Jen is going to talk about following up. So we've hit adding to your network. We've hit starting conversations. Megan did an awesome job on inviting. So now let's go to the most important part, in my opinion, following up.
Hey guys, my name is Jen, for those who don't know me. I didn't really prepare too much. I'm kind of going to wing this, but Stephanie is right. This is definitely one of the most important parts of this whole process. I'm going to screen share for a second. I have this little statistic here that I found interesting. It's about, it's a sales statistic. So 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and then stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Only 2% of people actually purchase things the first time you talk to them about it. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third, 10% on the fourth, and 80% are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. I just wanted to share that because it's really, really important. And, you spend this time forming with people. Once you get to the point where you're comfortable enough inviting them to your challenge group and they decline, or, they're not able to do it financially at the time, or there's something going on in their life where they don't feel like they can commit, whatever it is, there's a very, very, very good chance that they will join you eventually. Put them on your list. Whatever, you have to find a way that you like to keep track of all your people. I know everyone has a list that they're keeping track with. I have these, I'm not really a big computer, Excel worksheet kind of person. I've tried that, but I have trouble keeping up with it. For me, when I'm, trying to cram in my work at night, I have a notebook. Actually, I have it right here because I was just sending out invites. It's literally pages and pages of people's names with notes next to them. Highlight colors mean certain things. And I just write it down as I invite them. And then I go back and I follow up with the ones that, were interested but were unable to do it. And some of them I've had to follow up with probably 5, 6, 7 times. And I kind of politely either, check in and say, hey, how are you? Do the whole, how are you doing? If I don't know them very well, I'll keep that part short and simple, but I'll say, hey, last time you said maybe in the future, I just wanted to keep you in the loop. I have another group starting, just keeping you up to date, and they usually thank me for that. Thank you so much. You know what? Actually, I think I am ready now. And, some of these people I've been talking with for almost a year, and they're finally deciding to do it. So don't get discouraged when you hear no's. You've probably heard this a million times. No means not right now, and that is 100% accurate, because I guarantee you're going to be blown away at some point in time going, I can't believe this person finally joined me. I've been talking to them forever. And it's fun to actually see it work out like all the coaches tell you it's going to. Anyways, I don't really have a ton to say except follow up. I mean, it's as simple as that. Keep your list. Keep track of each time, keep track of your conversations with the person. I add anywhere from 20 to like 50 friends a day is what I kind of aim for. And I get into, when you have over 3,000 people and you're trying to keep track of all these people, you have to keep kind of detailed notes so okay, this person, you had a conversation with them, they're married, they have 3 kids, we're doing another challenge a couple months ago and weren't ready to join your group because of that or whatever it is. This way you can go back in and be like, hey, and kind of continue the conversation and just keep your memory fresh. So that's really important. We have some conversation going on here in the group chat. Okay. So bottom line, just make sure you follow up. Don't ever think because they said no that actually means no, means not right now. And that's it. Just follow up with them. There's really not much more to it than that.
I do want to add my one little trick that I like to do. If someone says they're going to order and they don't, I know that happens a lot.
That never happens.
Yeah, never. Yes, I'm going to order on Friday. And then Friday comes and nothing. And then Saturday, no. So when they say they're going to order, if they say if it's Monday and they say they're going to order Friday, I message them on Thursday. I'll be available tomorrow when you order. Are you so excited? This group's going to be awesome. Kind of pump them up a little bit. If they still don't do it on Friday, Saturday, or maybe later on Friday, is just an example, I will go back and say, I only have this spot for a little bit. Are you still serious about this, or should I give it to somebody else? It's your business, so don't be afraid to follow up. Like when you go to the doctor, like when I make an appointment at my clinic, they call me the day before with a reminder. They're like, you have an appointment at this time. It's the same thing, and after, let's say you went and got lab tests or something, they're going to call you back afterwards. It's treat it like a business and you will have better success rate, I guess. Don't be afraid to follow up with people.
And you know what else too? With the people who say they're going to order and then don't order, I had one of my coaches, Leanna, actually frantically message me, paste all these pictures of her conversation with this lady, which became one-sided. It was just Leanna going, are you there? Don't forget, you're supposed to order there, whatever. She was going on. And don't waste too much of your time on these people.
Yeah.
You should be talking to enough people that you're not, your life does not depend on this sole order, okay? You don't want to sound desperate, and that's what you're going to eventually sound like if you're like, hey, are you going to put your order in? Hey, why didn't you order? Just let it go. If they're and especially when you can see that they read your message, if they want the challenge pack and they want to order, they're going to order. Do not waste too much time on it. Put them on your follow-up for a next challenge group. But I actually guarantee you, I've had those people come back to me. They were the ones who came to me in the first place. Then they were the ones who started ignoring me. And then they came back to me. So just don't waste. That's one of the hardest things to get past, I will tell you, especially when you haven't quite got the momentum yet of the many contacts and the multiple challenge packs, going through, to where you're not just, clinging to this one person and praying that they order, is letting that go, because it eats you up inside. You're like, they said they were going to buy it. You get all excited and they leave you hanging. And, you really learn a lot about people, this business, because I can't believe some of the stuff people do to me. And I'm like, I would never do this to another human being. Like, have the courtesy to be like, listen, something came up, or I'm so sorry. Actually, I don't think I can do it now. Fine. Whatever. Just the fact that they cut you off like that, man, it just pushes my buttons. But anyways, let it go. Don't waste too much time on it. Don't beg and plead that they put their order in, just move on.
That's true.
for yourself.
I wanted to add that what really got me with when Stephanie followed up with me, she said, "Hey, Sandy, I just wanted to make sure you're still in because I have a few other people moving forward with their orders, and I didn't want you to miss out." And I thought, "Oh my gosh, other people are doing it. Well, then I want to do it. I don't want to miss out." And that worked. And so I've used that too. And I've used the, I'm saving a spot for you. Should I save the spot or should I give it up? Like you have to sort of, create a deadline.
Urgency,
Wow.
yeah, create some urgency.
Yeah, and you can
And
say,
you know what, too? You're helping yourself out. Because if they say, no, sorry, give up the spot, because
yeah,
I feel like some people who might just ignore you feel bad and will say, oh, let me make sure someone else gets this spot. And they'll at least say that so you know where you stand.
I've been counting mentally in my mind how many of Stephanie's traps I've personally fallen into, and let me tell you, the list is quite long. Every time I watch a coach video that she does, I'm like, man, she got me on that one and that one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am like such a sap. What is going on?
Aren't you glad though? Look where you're at now, girl.
I know, but even your iPhone message, I was like, that was just like a ploy. It's funny because it worked. It worked so well.
Oh, you crack me up.
Yeah,
On top of what Jen said, I'll give them a reminder the day before, and then if they don't order, I'll remind them the day after, and then that's really where I let it go, and they go on a list for later. I'm not going to keep bugging them.
yeah. One coach did tell me recently that what she does in her group is she'll say, okay, a lot of you have been asking me about PIO. And she said, that's not true. No one's asked me about PIO. But she'll just say that. A lot of people have been asking, so here's a quick video about it, because it creates this feeling of, oh, other people are asking about it. What is this? I don't know.
That's smart.
I always try that. And they don't know who's been asking you what.
that's true.
Stephanie's on the move.
My computer's going to die. Do you plug it?
You can give us a house tour.
I know, I was just going to say that.
So are we going to follow up with people now for a few minutes, or?
Yeah, I guess fine. 3 people who you have reached out to before that are on your list, and follow up with them. Someone's getting puppy licks.
All right. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and close it down before my computer dies so I don't lose the recording. But I'll post it in the group, okay? Oh, gotta love technology. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
Bye.
What do you have? All right.